say it is a beautiful morning, that would be an understatement. This is Mission Beach, far north Queensland. I'm standing with Patrick Dangerfield. Now, Patrick, we all know you play AFL football, but recently you won a very small medal that means a really big deal. What is it?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to win the Brownlow last year, which is obviously the AFL's highest individual award. Wasn't quite a premiership, but it was pretty special.
Very special indeed. Now, we know you can play footy, but can you fish, mate?
Well, I can fish, but catching and fishing are two different things, so hopefully we can catch today.
Well, with weather like this, heading out to the reef, plenty of big fish, I think we're going to smash it. Let's do it, mate. I can't believe you actually caught us. Return to the airport after throwing those crazy people in the sky. That's how they get their adrenaline kicks. We get it from going fishing. I believe you've been to Mission Beach before, mate.
I have 15 years ago, and before that, 1997, so this trip certainly reinvigorated the love of this area.
So when you come here in 97, what were you 2?
I was 7. We stayed at the caravan park, and it was a great trip, but to come back here a little bit older, a little bit wiser, exciting. So tell me this, you caught a very special fish on one of those trips and you dragged it all the way back to the caravan park. What happened there? Yeah, my first decent sized trevally. I don't think it was a GT, just a standard trevally, and I was so proud of it. I walked back through the caravan park and hopefully we'll get a few bigger ones today. You know what I always say, when you're a kid, doesn't matter whether you make a pizza in home economics or whether you catch your first fish or take a mark, it didn't really happen unless your mum sees it. Or it's caught on camera. That's exactly right. Hi, Mum. Reached the spot. It's an old fishing trawler. It's literally on the bottom, creating an amazing wreck. There's some big fish swimming around. We can actually see them through the water column with our spotters. Unbelievable. 110 foot of water. We've got baits down, and I can tell you, it is literally just a matter of time. Well, the back of the boat has just absolutely exploded with fish. There's nanagai, we think there's some mackerel at the back, so we're trying to keep them around the back of the boat, so we're cubing a few bits of bait in the hope that we can rig up a couple of rods and hook a few. Well called, Paddy, I've got a pilly. I'm going to strip it back there. I can see some massive nanagai. See them? Look at the big red fish there. Back. Massive nanagai. I can see mackerel, possibly a wahoo. He's looking at my bait. I reckon that is. Yep. I've got one. Oh, look at the size of this thing coming. That's a big nanny. That's a big nanny. He's looking at my bait now, I reckon. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. I can see him eating it. Oh! I pulled it out of his mouth. Look at him. I think he might come back, Patrick. Just got it. Yep, he's got it. Look at this. They're about to go. Look at this. Free spool. Oh, come on, eat it, boys. Look at him right at the back of the boat. That's a big jack, I reckon. It's actually come right up to the GoPro. I'm just going to put this big circle hook. Big circle. This is why I love fishing, because you just don't know what's going to happen. The pilly's going in. They're big fish. And you know what's easy, Patrick? It's easy at train to kick the ball properly, hand pass, but when the pressure's on, yeah, it's a little bit different game day.
I can see him eat it. Look at him. He's eating it just there in front of the camera. Come on, eat it. Eat it. He's playing with it. He's playing with it. I can still see it. His mate's fighting for it. Come on, boys. Look, he's on that. But they're just playing. Come on. Come on. This is wrong. Look at that. Right at the bottom. Oh, my goodness me. That was a benthic species of nanagai on the surface. Here we go. Here we go. Gotcha. Sorry, mate. I don't know where I am in relation to your line, but I need to go over the top. We'll just take your time. Oh, there he goes. Look at that there. This is epic. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is a smallmouth nanagai in a burley trail, literally taking baits on the surface. I've never seen it. I wish I had my fly rod here because I could catch nannies on fly. That is amazing. Look at this fish.
And then his mate is 2 metres
And his mate's bigger, I reckon. Look at that. Smallmouth nanagai. Whoop. His cousin is a saddle-tail snapper. This one isn't as good eating, and so early in the day and so hot, I think we better let him go, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think you better catch one of those big nannies I can see swimming in the Burley Trail.
I've got a feeling it's going to be a pretty good day.
I got a feeling. Look at those fish smacking that burley. The trap is set. How cool is that? Now, I'm going to throw my pilchard in. You see my pulley there? It's got a surprise. It's called 2 VMC hooks. So I put the bait in, and the idea is that my bait needs to do exactly what the burley was doing, so I can't have any resistance on the line whatsoever. I just let it drift down the burley trail. If it looks natural, the fish will eat it. Now they're coming in, and one of them just scoffed it, I reckon. It's in his gob. I'm going to let him take some line, because my pilchard is much bigger than the small cubes that were going down, so I'm going to let him swallow it. So flick the bail, slow wind, and we got ourselves a nanagai. I got to say, sight fishing is just incredible. Oh, these things pull. Actually seeing the fish before you put a hook in it, it's the best form of fishing by a mile. Coming through. Oh, and these things just pull so hard. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. Oh, gotta show him his boss. Oh my goodness me, that is a monstrous fish. This little town, look it up on Google. Search in wrong town and you'll find it, because this is wrong on every level. Just check out the quality of this fish. And I've caught plenty of these things with an 8-ounce lead, paternoster, big baits, but never, ever have I caught them on the surface. And for a fish like that to feed on the surface, to see it, as I was saying, there's nothing like a fish that you see feeding on the surface. If you want to see how good a VMC circle is, just look at that. 2 circles, both hooked, right next to each other in the corner of the jaw, which makes this fish the perfect candidate for release, even though I'd love to take him back for a dinner date. I'm thinking we might get one of them later. Loving this part of the world. Last time I was out catching nanagai with my boy, he made an interesting comment, because kids look at things differently. He said, why is it called a nanny guy? Technically, Dad, it should be a nanny girl. And yet, I've got to agree. See you, mate. Straight back down. That's the beauty of catching fish on the surface and using circles. And we are rolling. If you're like me, you always wonder what is beneath the sea. I actually took up scuba diving just so I could have a look. There's going to be some big googly things down there, and this thing is going to show us exactly what it is. Well, what they are. Here you go, mate. If I never see you again, I loved it while it lasted.
So we'll crank the burley trail up again, and what we're seeing at the back of the boat, they're just milling around that bait. So what I'm doing here is floating a pilly, and hopefully, just like they did with the cut up pilchards, it'll come up on that bait and swallow it. You can just see in the water, the fish just milling around. There's be half a dozen. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Have you ever thought about having your own fishing show in the off-season, mate? Like after you win the grand final, the next 10 Brownlows?
Well, that's why I came here, just to see what the competition was like.
And what do you think so far about the competition?
Oh, you go right.
I'll pay that. You know what? You can kick a footy too. I mean, you grew up fishing as a kid. How exciting is this? Seeing them, feeding them?
Well, I think the big thing is seeing the fish. There's nothing quite like spotting the fish, thinking, geez, let's try and catch that. And they come up right to the boat. That's what amazes me.
That's a really solid one, eh? I think you pinned him in the snores.
Peter, can you just grab that rod?
Yes, certainly, mate.
Just bring him on board.
Oh, mate.
How's that?
I tell you how big that fish is. That actually looks like you at the end of the off-season when you've carved right up. How's the guts on it?
That's me after Europe.
So what we've got here is a 2-hook rig, and you'll see the 2-hook rig works really well. The first hook's actually pinning where it's supposed to. That one's pinning in the dorsal, which that'll just come straight out. But you really got to think about your fishing sometimes, and I reckon having that second hook in the bait can really be the difference between land and fish not getting it all.
Difference between an okay time and a really good time.
That's exactly right. And at the moment, we're having a really good
time.
You know what? We work just like Heckle and Jekyll. And I didn't even see him read the script this morning. This fish is going back, but eventually, can you promise me we keep just one to take back for dinner?
Yeah, I think fish for dinner is beautiful.
Loving it.
As much as I love catching fish, I think there's going to be a few more to come. How good is that? Sensational. Paul, I reckon I can count this in because I'm watching it at the back. 3, drifting for the spin. Yep.
Good work.
It's just sitting there, and you can see it come right up.
Oh, it's a Spanish. Oh, how cute. How cute.
Oh.
I'm just going to get my rod out of your way. Oh, he's mates with him, he's mates with him.
I'm glad it's got the wire trace on it because
otherwise you'd be history.
the teeth on these things.
Oh.
Stay away from that line. It's not a monster,
have you
but
caught any Spaniards?
I have sort of around this size.
Yep.
Never a real monster.
Mate, I'll grab the rod for you. Watch those teeth.
Just watch the teeth though.
Watch those teeth
And,
out.
and that's why.
That's why you use gang hooks. Those teeth, they're so sharp. They'll literally take your finger off. Now I assume he's probably undersized, but the sad thing is, he's probably the best eating Spanish mackerel ever going to get.
Why is that? The bigger they get?
Well, there's more chance of it carrying ciguatera poisoning. That would be just amazing. It would eat so good, but we'll let him go. The
Yep.
big question though, I can see you're a gun fisherman. Is this your first television appearance fishing?
Yes, it is.
It is. So I'm just going to wipe the blood off your neck. My question is, how did you assemble so many sponsors in such a short career? I mean, we've got stump jumpers, we've got lures, we've got fins braid, Plano, Classic, Asara. This guy, he's the most sponsored angler in Australian fishing tackle history. Well done, PD.
It's not what you know until you know.
Well done. Well, obviously, I know no one and nothing. When you come to Mission Beach, make sure you check out the giant cassowary. It stands 5 metres tall. A large flightless bird, the name actually comes from a Papuan term, cassowary, meaning horned head. And this particular bird is a beacon for the Cassowary Coast, which stretches from Cairns in the north through to Townsville in the south. Something hit this right at the back of the boat. Look at that. Oh, that is amazing. I was just cranking this jig up from the bottom and this fish hit it literally a metre below the surface. That is so, and there's another one down there, another mackie. Oh, and he just either fell off or bit me off. He actually fell off. That's amazing. Well done here. I want to show you something. It's a little Gamoku jig. They're actually making my own assist hooks these days. You see a little VMC hook there. It's one of their straight hooks for lures. And I then put 2 swivels between rings and I use that as my assist. Benefit for that, makes plenty of noise with jiggling around there, but if you get a mackerel, he's not going to bite that Kevlar cord. So really, really cool. I might drop that back down, see if there's a few more.
I'm going to have to change his drag because...
Yep, otherwise we're going to come around this way.
Yep. Oh! Well, I was just thinking, you've heard the saying, good tradesman doesn't blame his tools and... Oh!
Yeah, all the way sunset?
That is all the way.
Now you need thumb as well.
Does not get any more.
You need thumb as well. Oh! That was so bad because the fish you had on, mate, it was quality. Like it was an awesome reef fish. And what's happened is there's groper down there that could be like 6-7 feet long. It has come through and eaten your reef fish. Look at that now. Can you physically pull line off that? See if you can.
No.
Oh, no. Come on, mate, come on. He can't pull line off it. If that fish was doing it with ease, there's only one thing left to do. It rhymes with break. Can you guess?
What, eat a steak?
Yes! It is time to give in for the day. We never give up, but sometimes we give in. It is steak for dinner, and then tomorrow, what do you say we come and hit the high seas off mission, and we try and find these monsters of the deep.
Let's do it again.
And if you can catch one tomorrow, mate, I'd be really appreciative, because I've got children who need clothes and bills to pay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I've got a child anyway. Unbelievable. break from the hot fishing for 1 second to have a little word with Paddy. Now, Patrick, young man, growing up, obviously this is the thing you probably cherished second after family.
It was, yeah, that was my one true love at the time.
So as a kid, what age were you when you decided, A, I want to be an AFL footballer, and B, I want to be the best AFL footballer?
I sort of started playing when I was 11. My cousin Sam played and I thought, he's older than me, I'll follow him, do what he does. And then from there, the love affair sort of started to grow, and the better I got, the sort of more I enjoyed it.
So cast your mind back, your very first game of AFL. Was it excitement? Was it anxiety? Was it pure joy? And did you actually get a kick?
It was interesting. It was actually in 2008, so I was still at school. Neil Craig rang me up. He said, we're going to play this week. It was round 20. And I hadn't trained with the team at all for months. And I basically met them after finishing school on a Friday and played on a Saturday afternoon.
Wow, and how'd you go?
We won, first time against Essendon in Melbourne.
So how did you go?
I kicked the goal with my first kick.
You did not?
Joined a club of about 6 million. A lot of players have done it, but it was a special day.
So you played in Adelaide all those years, and then it comes time, I hear a rumour you're actually moving to Melbourne. Obviously you did it for the cash. You just thought, I'm Dangerfield now, I just want to get the payola, the big bucks. What's the true story?
Well, some people believe that, but for me the most important thing, and you've mentioned it already, is family. And I had a great time in Adelaide. I spent 8 wonderful years there, but it got to a stage in my life where more of the outside world was more important and becoming far more important than what footy is. And footy's wonderful, footy's a great occupation, but family will be there forever, and I wanted to surround myself with more of that.
Now, I don't know if you heard any noise in your room this morning, but I sort of snuck in when you were snoring, and I happened to find this on your bedside table. I was actually shocked because I thought you'd be wearing it to bed, because that's what your missus told me, you actually wear this to bed.
Oh, everywhere I go, it comes with me.
This little bit of gold is called the Brownlow Medal, and as a kid, I used to beg Mum that I could sit up at night and watch the call of the Brownlow Medal. What does this little bit of gold mean to you?
Yeah, it was a really special moment. It's not winning a grand final, it's not the team success that I envy of every winning grand final team, but it was a very proud moment. And it wasn't until probably I won the award that you start to realise the significance of it and what it means to people that have won it before and the AFL industry, and it was a very proud moment.
Unbelievable. Brownlow medalist. That is very, very special. You know what? I'm not giving it back. It's mine now. I think we better get back to the fishing. Dunk Island lies approximately 4 kilometres off the East Australian coast, opposite Mission Beach. It's a beautiful part of the world, approximately 10 square kilometres, with a diverse range of wildlife, including many birds. The Aboriginal name for Dunk Island is Coonagalbar, which means the Island of Peace and Plenty. But it's another amazing day in far north Queensland.
There it is, Dunk Island in the background. Water's calm. It's going to be pretty special today.
And today is the day that you're actually going to keep a hook in a big fish, isn't it?
I tell you what, we've lost plenty, so I think we're due for a change of luck.
I'm crossing everything. Fingers, toes, legs.
Give us hope.
Drop of the day, and this is what you always love, because that first drop always has such anticipation. Hit the bottom, I reckon it was down there for about 3 seconds. That's a lie. 2 seconds, got smashed straight away. Just start the day with a paternoster rig, 2 half pilchards, just trying to get a bit of variety on board. Oh, I've got 2 fish here, gotta like that. Oh, look how far down you can see these things, it is wrong. Oh, there's a big fish following too. There's a big fish following these fish up. Look at that. 2 smallmouth nanagai on the first drop of the day. I think today is going to be a good day. Oh, that's a better one. Oh, yeah. That is the smallest little bite. And from the smallest bite, big things come. Oh, you getting small bites, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just lots of small bites. I left it.
Tap, tap, tap.
Tap, tap, I left it, and then finally got a bit better one. theory is, of course, the little fish come through and hit your baits, create burley, and the big fish comes through and says, nah, that's mine. And I'm just starting to see a bit of colour. You can see colour a long way down here because the water's so clear. Oh, this looks like a pretty solid little fish.
More silver to it then.
Yeah, it looks a bit more silver, doesn't it? What do we got there? That looks like, no way.
Is that a sweet lip?
It's a spangled emperor. These fish are found on both the east and west coast of Australia, and also known as a norwest snapper. Beautiful fish. I'm not a big fan of them eating wise, but some people do love to eat them. I've caught monsters in Lord Howe Island, caught monsters Shark Bay all the way through to Exmouth up to the Kimberleys. Cracker fish, found anywhere from sort of 5 metres of water through to 100 metres of water. How good is it when you just don't know what's coming up next? Okay.
Just bumped in with the...
Yep. So, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, but it's like this.
How much is that?
Okay, so this rod and reel is worth about $1,200. You spectacularly saved it. The microphone you're wearing that is now dead is worth about $4,000. But at the end of the day, he is just a footballer. You can kick the ball really well, but you're not very smart, he lifts heavy things. Mate, that was dedication at its best. It was like Superman.
Oh my God, how dumb was that?
So, whilst my brand new best friend Danger is down the back on microphone, this rod took off. You know the difference though? Being a skilled angler, I lost the fish, not the rod and reel. Let's go back to the instant replay. Oh, grab it. No, he's got a mic on. Oh, that's painful. No. Well, Danger's drying off in the cabin, and I just thought I'd do the right thing and test this beautiful rod and reel that he saved for me. First drop back down, bang, hooked up again. I must admit that was a very heroic act, because I do love this rod and reel. What have I got here? Something a bit different. Oh, it's a nice nanny. Look at that. Look at those bubbles coming out of him. That's the baritone, just blowing all those bubbles as he comes up. Look at those beautiful fish. Look at that, I love them. They're one of my favourite fish, these guys. Anything that comes off the reef that's red is just special. When you see the light, and you see the fish and the way these things pull over the first few metres, it is unbelievable. Now, on a boat when someone does something silly, you like to make them pay. So here comes the human banana, Patrick Dangerfield. Mate, that suits you. Never take bananas on a boat. And after what I've seen today, never take a Dangerfield on a boat. So we've just made a move across the most magnificent glass sea. I've thrown some burley in, 4 of the biggest nanagai. Oh, they just saw me move my arm. 4 of the biggest nanagai you've ever seen coming through the burley trail. I'm going to put some more cubes in, just like yesterday, so we can find a few. So exciting. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. There they are. I reckon there's a chance this could be a tuna, mate.
Well, we were throwing the metals down because there's bait flying everywhere at the back of the boat.
It was the fish that blew me away. We started putting some cubes in. I reckon we had 6 species of fish come through then.
And close to the boat.
Just
as well.
here.
Like, it's just starting to get some colour.
Now, if you just tuned in and you're wondering why the great man is wearing a banana t-shirt. It's because he is in the dunce corner.
Funny story about that.
Yeah, it's funny because earlier today he decided to jump overboard to save my rod and reel, but in doing so sacrificed a very expensive microphone. So this is your punishment.
Wasn't quite thinking clearly.
No, but you know what? Bananas are full of potassium. They're fantastic.
Whoever said you can't catch fish if you've got a banana on the boat?
This is the biggest banana I've ever seen. Speaking of that, would you like me to give you a hand?
He's nearly there.
I can see him.
Little tuna.
Beautiful fish.
Banana boat.
Oh, this is on.
Oh, and that's going to be something real decent.
Oh, that just got absolutely smashed. Oh, this is big. How's that? Like, talk about action. Talk about amazing, Paddy. Do you reckon people who don't fish understand just how good it is?
Oh, I mean, the beauty of Mission Beach, it's less than an hour of the Great Barrier Reef.
Exactly.
And people forget just how close it is.
Oh, I reckon it's a shark, eh? I can feel the big tail slap.
Oh, I'm not sure what's more yellow peed up, the Finn's braid or the banana t-shirt.
I'll give you the tip. I took my spotters off before and it burned a hole in my retina.
Yeah, it's not good, the glare.
Oh, I reckon you should wear that on Brownlow night next to you.
Bring on the bananas, I say.
Stella 20,000, 80-pound fins, absolutely locked up. And I'm hurting just a little bit in this heat. You've got him up, have you? Okay, go around, All yours, mate.
Move that there. Oh. How's that?
That's a stonker, mate. I think it's a bludger.
It is a beautiful fish. Not great eating though.
Not great eating.
But on light gear, on the Finn's braid, I think it's about 25, 30 pound. That's a lot of fun.
And you notice that little lure, just a small metal pilchard style lure. That is all about matching the hatch. These big fish, that's what they eat. You see these bait fish swimming around all the time. So you don't need big fancy lures to catch great fish. And how's the size of the pectoral fins on that thing, mate?
Yeah, just streamlined. Hey Dave, what are you doing?
I'm trying, I'll give you the tip. The fish here are big. You saw me struggling a bit, and I'm just going to do a little gun comparison here. This is like a 6-inch pistol, and that's a double barrel. Now do you understand why I was hurting a bit?
Just slightly. It is like you've hooked the Great Barrier Reef and it's just decided to shift a few hundred metres. Oh.
You right? Well, it took two of us, but we finally stopped you, mate.
That was hard work.
How big was that shark?
Always, when I grew up, I dreamt of catching sharks, but out here, it's probably not the number one.
Now, you thought I was pretty weak, but when I gave you the rod, seriously, how hard did that thing pull?
I must admit I was pretty pathetic.
All good. We just wanted to see it, though. We got him to the side of the boat and busted him off. What do you reckon? 9, 10 feet long, maybe?
Yeah, I'm really unglad that I jumped in the water about 2 hours ago.
The remora, seriously, even they were this big. The beautiful little township of Mission Beach wasn't established until 1914. So hard to believe. It's situated about 135 kilometres south of Cairns, about 235 north of Townsville. And you may wonder, why is Paul Worsing the only person on this beach today? Well, guess what? The population of the 2011 census was just 765 people, so you pretty much got it all to yourself. When I'm putting cubes down a burley trail, I like to hide the hook because the fish can physically see it. So I go through the mouth, pull it out the bottom of the gills. That way I've got a nice little setup. And I go into the side of the pilchard and I literally pull it all the way through and bury that hook. Now, I very rarely bury a hook in a bait, but look at that. That is buried. The line goes through the top there. That's the only bit of hook sticking out. I give him plenty of time to eat it, and that seems to work very, very effectively. How good's this? That is a big nanny. I mean, oh, I know they grow bigger. Go, PD! What's better than 1? 2. Yeah, baby. I reckon that's that trevally, eh?
Yeah, I reckon these do.
It's big. There you go, my friend. Look at that. That is what they call a bludger. Oh, gotcha. Oh, how good's that? Tuna busting up everywhere. Desperately trying to eat my salad with bowl of Spanish anchovies. And I just couldn't help myself. I thought I've got to throw a lure into that. It's like another bludger. Look at that, these huge pecks. We can actually see those pecks. They light up blue, bioluminescence cruising under the boat, just like a marlin. And the body, it's almost got the body like a Ceriolo body, like a kingfish or a Sanson, isn't it?
Yeah, it does the tail shape. It's a trout.
Hey!
Straight away.
Just moved location to the edge of the reef, trying to find a few coral trout. I haven't got a coral trout here, but very, very quick to get a bite. I don't think it's going to take long.
You can go anywhere in the world and you will not find a better tasting reef fish than a coral trout.
And that is just a beautiful thing. Big or small, I love them all. Look at that, one of the prettiest fish in the ocean. Just a pup, going back.
Well, I sort of had two hooks. And what I've caught is a gold spot trevally and a fusilier. And it wouldn't surprise me if this trevally was chasing the fusilier.
Oh, that's a good one, mate.
Yep. I'm trying to get him off the reef though.
Might be putting my thumb on the back of the spool. Yep. Oh yeah, it's a real one. That's a real one. Oh.
Come up, big fella.
Go, Paddy. This is the fishing go.
Yep, there we can go.
You can put the drag up and touch it if you need to, but you're doing well. Good work. Oh, this is big. This is big.
Come on.
You're doing great, mate. You're doing great. You've got him off the reef. Now it's all about slow and steady. So you don't pull that hook.
Yep.
Holy snapping. So what do you think of my Calica 12s, mate?
Well, you don't need the best gear to catch fish, but up here I tell you, it makes such an enormous difference, and that's not talking up any brand for me, but it just makes it so much easier.
And they are the most beautiful overhead reels in the world, in my opinion. That rod, a Therese rod rated 30 to 50 pound, and that is 50 pound fins braid. And I love the fins braid. And don't you love the fact that this stuff's actually multicoloured, so you can figure out how far you're down?
Well, that's the thing. We're in 60 foot of water at the moment, and we're on reef, so we're going to make sure that we're not catching reef straight away. So the separation in colours, anyone can do it.
Very, very handy. Speaking of colour, you've got to be close to seeing colour here. I wonder if it's a big Trevor that's maybe taken. I think it could be. It could be a GT, mate. I think you want to come around here?
Yep.
I think it might be a big GT, mate. It is a big GT.
How's that for colour?
Look at that, baby. A GT on a
Got it. All right, got it.
On a paternoster, on a pilly. I've seen it all, Danger. That's a solid fish, mate. That's a solid fish. Now, and there is a stonking fish. Now just watch out, there's a second hook. Grab that fish. There's a second hook in that paternoster, so maybe just throw that over so I don't get stabbed by the hook. And
watch that one there.
yeah, mate, if you support his belly,
yep.
I'll try and watch the hooks, but if he kicks, you don't have a glove on, so there's that second hook. Okay, this is just remarkable. We've been chasing some big GTs today, and now, fishing with a bit of pilchard on a paternoster, 60 pound leader, you catch a cracking GT. That is one fish to see. I'm puffing and panting. All I do is lift it over the side, mate. You can lift it up. How are you going? How are you going?
Oh, they're bloody heavy.
Come on, mate. This is like training.
I'm going to put my leg up. It's killing me.
Danger, danger, danger. Unbelievable. Make sure you come to Mission Beach because it is seriously, how good is it?
It is one of the best places in Australia. It's so close to the reef, and to be able to get fish like this, what more could you want?
You're right. What more could you want? A massive thanks to Tropical Coast Tourism. Those guys said, come to Mission Beach. We had to do it, and of course, Dennis from Fish and Mission, is he almost a godlike figure?
Oh, I think up here he certainly is.